All right, so I think we're on. Yay! Hey everybody, happy Friday. Hope y'all are looking forward. Hey, thank you. Hope y'all are doing good. Hi, Matthews. So for those of you who are new, I'm looking to make sure everything's good. Everything's good. Yeah, so, all right. So, happy Friday. This is your chance to ask me your questions and to ask me whatever you want to ask me about. So, if you want to ask me about your life, just put your question in the comment section below. Be specific with your question. If you ask me a general question, I'm not going to waste my time trying to figure out what you want to know. I'm just going to skip you. So just FYI, I don't actually go in order anyways. I just bounce around and just go to whomever I feel connected to. And so that's usually how I do it, but I try to go with new questions every single time, or try to go with new people every single time. So I try to, be fair. But if you want to ask me a question, you can ask me about your life, but be specific. So if you're asking me about your health, what about your health are you asking? If you want to know about your finances, what specifically financially are you asking me about, and so forth and so forth. So just FYI. If you want to connect with a loved one in spirit, let me know who you want to connect with, and I will try to connect to that person and bring through any messages or any information that can help to validate that they're with you. Of course, it is easier to give more detailed information if we're having a conversation, because there's certain things that get in my head that I just don't always understand, but you might be able to understand more clearly than I. And so if you want to get on camera with me, you can do so, but you got to get over to Instagram, because that's where I do all the live videos for that. But if not, you don't have to. You can just let me know who you want to connect with, and then I will try to bring through any messages to hopefully pass along anything that can help you to know that your loved ones are with you. If you want to know more about what I do, who I am, what I'm about, and if you want my receipts, my credentials, you can find all of that on my website. I have plenty of information on my website about me, my services, what I offer, what's available, bookings, appointments, all of that stuff is on there if you want to go that route. I also have I also have podcasts. My podcast is on there as well, which I'm about to add a new episode. My podcast is on there. All my articles are connected to that. All of my past predictions, not all of them, but some of them are on there that show my scoring, how I do, etc. What else is on there? My free course, my free psychic development course is on there as well, my beginner course, so that's all on there as well. So you can find that all on there free of charge, no charge for that. That's all stuff. I just started playing with TikTok again. I had downloaded TikTok a while back ago, and then I deleted it because I was I don't want to use it. I don't know why I have it, but I'm back on TikTok now, y'all. So check me out on TikTok, and it's Ferny ESP, Ferny ESP, and you can find me on TikTok, and I'll be putting out stuff as well. I'll put it out here on Instagram, and I'll put it out on Facebook, but Facebook and YouTube, it just feels like something's shifting with the energy of those platforms, and so I feel a little more draw to Instagram and TikTok. So just if y'all giving y'all a heads up, I'm still doing these lives, and I'm still going to be on Facebook, and I'm still going to be on YouTube. But I'm going to start doing lives where it's on Instagram and on TikTok. So we'll see how that works out. But I'll let you know when that all comes up. Every Wednesday and Friday, we do study groups. So after my lives, I get on here and we read books and talk about the content and spiritual stuff. So if you want to be a part of that, feel free to tune in. I don't do personal questions during those. That's all just focused on spiritual growth and understanding stuff. But I think that's it. Is there anything else I need to say? Oh, if you're on YouTube, if you're, again, of course, as a weekly thing, y'all, people like to pretend to be me. So people will create fake profiles, and they will go out and they will message you, and they will ask you if you want a reading, and then they'll ask you to send them money. That is not me. I don't do that. I don't do that. So people want to have a reading with me, they need to go through my site. I don't do it through text message. I don't do it through private message. I don't do it through any of that stuff. So you have to go through my website. But anybody that accosts you, or anyone that approaches you, either on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, messaging you and pretending to be me, and asking for money, is probably not me, just because I don't do that. And if you want to be sure, all you have to do is look at that profile, because they may have some posts that are similar to mine, but they are limited. They don't go back my entire history. And I've been on Instagram for a while now. So you can go to all of my thousands of posts, and you can be sure that I have it. Not only that, but my profile bio on Instagram specifically says, it also says it on TikTok, I do not ask you for money, and I do not direct message or private message readings. So just FYI, so y'all know, y'all don't get fall into that trap. I think that's it. So I try to be respectful, and I try to be respectful, and I don't really care to deal with the BS. So if we have people in here who are rude, who are just like popping in and being trolls or being disrespectful, y'all feel free to block or report or whatever. I'm not really gonna I just don't feel like dealing with it unless they're just really being an ass. At that point, then I might need to get involved and say something. But aside from that, I try to be as respectful to you guys as possible, and I think we should all treat each other the way we deserve, and the way we choose to be treated. But you have to put it out before you can get it back. That's just my rule. Okay. All right, guys. So let's get started here. I'm not going in any particular order, so I'm going to bounce around here for a hot minute. If you want to be on video, by the way, like I said, you need to get over to Instagram, because I do video through Instagram. M Duff, hi Ferny, any messages from my spirit guide? Yeah, so with your spirit, a couple of things. One is, I do think, okay. So there might be a situation that comes up that you might need to be prepared for, and it come up in the beginning of the year. So I want to say beginning of 2022, where you are going to have to make some changes with your home or living situation, which may involve two other either relatives or two other family members. And there may be a little bit of a disagreement or dispute about how to approach or handle that change or situation. But ultimately, you just need to go with what your gut instinct is or what you choose to do in that instance. And it comes up early. I think it's coming up early next year. So be prepared for that, because you may need to be prepared for that situation changing. Okay. And it, again, has to do with your living situation, or your living accommodations. Vineyards and Voyages. Hi, I'm thinking of moving to Boston. I fell in love with it. Do you see that as a good move? Thank you. It wouldn't be a bad move. It wouldn't be a bad move. Here's the thing, though. I think what may end up happening is that you might end up going back again before the year is over with. And then you might feel very differently the second time you go back, and then you're going to really have to think about it. As of right now, I feel less likely that you'll move there, but maybe still move to that area or region, but maybe another city in that area or region. But I think when you go back, you might have different opinions, or you may feel a little differently about it. I'm not sure why, unless it's like a seasonal thing, or it's just when you go back, you kind of get another whiff of it and you're like, I don't know, I don't think so. But it doesn't feel bad. If you really, really wanted to move and you just like dead set on like going, I would say go for it, because I mean, you're not going to know until you know, right? So I would say go for it. But I'm thinking that you're not going to move there. I'm thinking you're going to go back, and then you're going to be like, I don't think so. And then you decide, and then you have another option that comes up, and then you're like, oh, I really like, this is more like, it's almost like the best parts of Boston, but then it has a different flair to it as well. Okay. People are asking me about their vacations and they should cancel. Here's what I'm going to say about this. I was supposed to go to Hawaii at the end of September and early October. And we had planned a trip last year and didn't happen because of COVID. So then we moved it and did it all over again this year. And then this is now surging again. And when I booked my trip, I was like, I'm mentally at peace with the idea that if I have to cancel my trip, I'm just going to cancel it. And then if I lose the money, then so be it. I lose the money. It is what it is. But I'm just not going to stress myself out over it, because it's just too much stress. And sure enough, I went ahead yesterday and canceled the trip. And everybody that was supposed to go with us, like when I canceled, everybody wanted to cancel, so nobody's going. So it's canceled for everybody, not just for me. I was like, hey, y'all can give my ticket to somebody else. I'll give somebody my ticket, or whatever we have to do to get somebody else to go. I don't trust it. So that's how I feel. So I'm doing that for myself. And then I had another client ask me the exact same thing yesterday, and they did not know that I had canceled my Hawaii trip. And they were like, I'm thinking, I'm supposed to go to Hawaii. Should I cancel? And I was like, I just did cancel my Hawaii trip today. So I would say, yeah, I would go for it and just cancel. So that's how I feel, y'all. So I don't feel comfortable traveling right now. And I feel like we're just going to be in a bit of a mess again. Iana Plato, can you please connect with my daughter Tristan, please? Thank you. Yeah, so Tristan. So first of all, I keep seeing. Okay, so when I tune into Tristan's energy, or when I tune into Tristan, like first I see is question marks, question marks, question marks. Whenever I see question marks, it's usually my symbol for there's questionable circumstances surrounding what happened or what occurred with their passing. I'm not thinking that this is like questionable, like some sort of like a I don't when I say suspicious, I don't necessarily mean like suspicious like murder or anything like that. I'm actually thinking that there's some weird stuff with the way it all went, or with how things were handled. So either there was some mistakes that were made in the treating of this person's condition, or there was mistakes or issues with the situation itself that led to it, because I almost feel questionable. I feel like I'm seeing question marks, so that's where I'm going with it. I also keep seeing the number 17, so the 17th of a month may be significant, or January 7th. I also see the 30th as well, so the 30th may be significant as well, or maybe connected. She also keeps acknowledging, she's showing me a necklace, but she's showing me two versions of the same necklace, or having to make the same thing twice, or ordering something, it not getting done the first time properly, and then having to reorder it to be done the correct way. So there's something about this that she's making reference to as well. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. She's showing me a lollipop. So I don't know if you have a picture of her with a lollipop in her hand, or if there's something about a dance or a play with lollipops, but there's a reference to that. So she's acknowledging that as well. She's around you, sweetheart. Yep, just Dom 3. Hey, Ferny, I was wondering if my spirit guides had any messages for me, and what is the best way to contact them. Thank you, Ferny. So here's the thing. First of all, and with your spirit guides, they're acknowledging thank you. If you have an interest in a business, or if you've been trying to work towards a business, you may have to split the services in two, or you may have to split the plan into two separate options. Here's an example of this. When I first started my business, I started it off with Reiki. I didn't start off doing readings, I was just doing Reiki. And so that's what my business started off as. And then as I began to do Reiki, my psychic abilities came back online, and then I was able to use that and do readings as well. And so I started to do both readings and Reiki. And for those of you who've never done Reiki, Reiki's pretty cool if you have a reputable practitioner. But when my business started to build itself, my readings started to become such in demand that the Reiki was just getting like put to the side, but I kept making time for Reiki. And so at some point I had to make the decision to just split my business, and then I just did away with Reiki altogether. I'm feeling the same thing. So if you have any business aspirations or any ambition about a venture or a business of some sort, it may have to get approached in two separate businesses, or be split into two separate options, which one might do better than the other, but it's almost like it could work, or it could work better in this way. I don't know why, but that's the way I'm seeing it. And that's what I'm thinking about your guide. To communicate with them or to connect with them. First of all, you don't have to contact them, because they're always in your head. In other words, they're in your head, aware of what is happening like 24/7. They've never not been with you. They're witnessing what you're going through with you, because they're specifically there to help you stay on track. So the little inner voice in your head that sounds like your conscience, like, you sure you want to trust her? Maybe she's not who she says she is, or did you lock that door? You might want to go and check, because you might have left that door. That inner voice in your head that becomes naggy, that sounds like yourself. There are times where it's your inner saboteur, which is, a part of our ego. And then there's actually times where it's your guide, and they're using that mechanism and that facility. Because why would, if I'm trying to get a message out to someone and they listen to Sunny 99.1 on the radio, why am I going to only broadcast on 108.5 and hope that person will tune into 108.5? They're going to broadcast on Sunny 99.1. You're just going to think it's background noise, when it's actually them, and they're communicating with you through the same mechanism that your inner thoughts process as well. So that's how they communicate with us. So they're always talking to us. They're always connecting and communicating with us. It's not like they're talking to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but they're aware. They're there. Don't have to contact them. Right now, you just telling me like I want to contact them, they already got that information. They're like, well, I'm right here, fool. Like, just keep talking, talk to me. I'm going to try to reach out to you. So feel free to talk to them whenever you want. The more you acknowledge and assume that it's happening and that you are communicating with them, the stronger the energy gets around the bridge of communication, and then it allows more to come through. So it's not so much about making contact with them. They already know you want to contact them, but just you by having the thought of contacting them. Okay. and you can journal, and I've talked about this before, but you can journal to kind of get, and I have this mentioned in my class, on my psychic development class on YouTube. You can get there through my website, but I have a specific section on spirit guides and what they are and what they're not, because a lot of people think that angels are spirit guides and spirit guides are angels, and those are like two separate things. And then people think that loved ones are spirit guides and spirit guides are loved ones. That can happen, but it's not often that that's the case. Hi, Ferny. Who was I in a past life? How has that impacted me currently? So we'd have to have like a full reading to be able to get into the conversation about that. However, I will say there is a past life for you where you were a seamstress. I'm sorry, not a seamstress. You were a shoe. You have seen the sewing of the shoes. I think you were a shoemaker. It was a family-run business. Actually, it's very similar. I don't know if you've seen the movie, the cartoon with. The little Disney cartoon with the little boy who he goes back to like the other side to get his ancestors or whatever. Well, I forgot what it's called. Y'all probably can put the name and she'll see it. But I think that you were part of a family that did shoe work or shoe repair stuff. And it was a very monotonous life. I mean, literally was like the same thing every single day. And you, in that lifetime when you were younger, you wanted to kind of go off and explore and like see the world. Of course, you couldn't because you had to stick close to the family to handle responsibilities or to be, to deal with the obligations of family. That's not your path in this lifetime. So feel free to be free in moments when you really just want to go and do your own thing. You don't always have to honor or acknowledge your family's needs ahead of everything else. You can sometimes be selfish, and it's okay. I've given you permission to be selfish, so you can go ahead and be selfish if you want to. Ruby G27, hi Ferny, I see repeated numbers often and I'm wondering if that means anything. It just depends on the moment that you see the repeated numbers. So, and for everybody it might mean something slightly different, but the general rule of thumb for me when I talk about repeating numbers is when you have alignment of numbers, it is the universe letting you know that whatever your soul wanted to achieve or the experiences your soul desired to have, both positive and negative, because people think that the soul came here to be happy. No, the soul was happy. The soul put itself in a human body where we suffer here for the mixture of experiences. So it's both positive and negative. But your soul has an agenda, the soul agenda. And your soul's agenda includes specific experiences. The way those experiences can be received can vary and change, and that's where we have control. But there are certain experiences that we are supposed to have that are like programmed in. There's a lot of freedom we get and a lot of things that we can go through and experience that isn't part of the plan, and that's on us. But there are certain things that we are meant to experience because it's going to be useful for the soul's understanding of things. And so with you, whenever we are seeing a lot of these alignment of numbers, you can think of it as like your spirit guide telling you that you're on track with what you set up. You can see it as as the universe giving you a nod that you're not fighting the flow of life and you're going more along with the flow, regardless of whether it's positive or negative, whether you're going along with the flow of life. So it could mean different things to different people, but it just depends on the situation and the moment you see it. Sometimes it's a sign from a loved one letting you know that they're with you, but most of the time I've understood it as it's just a nod to let us know that we're on track. Claudia Butron. Hello, Ferny. Any messages from my dad for my brother, sister, and I? It will be 3 years in November. Yeah, so one thing that he's doing, first of all, it's funny because I keep seeing like I have like a lasso and a cowboy. So I don't know if your dad ever worked on a farm or he has something like a lasso or there's a rope thing with him because he's doing this with the lasso thing. So that's the only thing I can think of because I'm thinking that's what that is. So he's showing me this. He also keeps acknowledging, it's funny because he's making fun of the teeth. So I don't know if he was having difficulty with his front teeth or there was a gap or something. And he's like, look, and he's smiling and is like, he's got that like signature smile or that signature teeth thing, but he's doing this thing. He also keeps, thank you. He also keeps acknowledging, okay. he's acknowledging a new vehicle. So someone might have gotten a new vehicle in the immediate family, or they've just made some changes with one of the vehicles, because he's talking about a new vehicle or being inside the vehicle and the smell. So there's a reference there. He also keeps acknowledging the number 28. So the 28th of a month, I wouldn't say 27, but I'm gonna say 28. The 28th of a month might be significant, or February the 8th is significant as well. So he's acknowledging that also. Okay. He just had a happy birthday, so we might be within 30 days of a immediate family birthday, or mom's birthday, because he's acknowledging a birthday within 30 days, okay? Rotolo Holmes. Hey, Ferny, I hope all is well. When do you see my dream of creating a community for homeless veterans actually being built? Thank you. So I feel like this is going to morph into a different situation or into a different opportunity here. I'm thinking less like you're going to set up this organization or this thing, and I'm feeling more like you set up a network, or you get involved where you connect with different organizations and a network that may assist with this process. It's almost like, so in 2 or 2.5 years, there are going to be some very obvious issues that come up regarding veterans care, or the lack of veterans and their care after they're done in the military and the service. And there's going to even be an incident that may come up at that time that may be a public facilitation incident about how much we need to pay attention to our veterans, because they're going through all of this crap and they're coming back, and some of them are just really not in a good place when they come back. Or some of them coming out of the military just really have struggles that people don't realize. And so I think that what may happen is around that time, there might be programs that are starting to be implemented or come up that will be focused on assisting or helping veterans. And I feel like in some way you might be a part of this, but it's almost like coordinating or connecting with a network to produce this. Sometimes, why go out and create a new McDonald's when you can just buy into the franchise and then work within? And I feel like it's more of like what I feel you'll do is buy into something that's already happening and then kind of coordinate or connect things in this way. And I think you may start to do this in about 2.5 years. Yeah, little Burnett's. My great-grandmother passed away years ago when I was 15. I'm 32 now. Does she have any messages for me? We were so close when I was younger. Yeah, so what she's showing me right now, first of all, she's acknowledging 2 children. So there might be 2 children that were miscarried, lost, or terminated that are with her, because I feel like she's acknowledging 2. Now, granted, I'm sure you got a picture with kids there, so I'm assuming you had kids after her passing, but she's acknowledging 2. So I'm thinking she's talking about 2 that are with her. She also keeps acknowledging something interesting, because I kept thinking of these Russian dolls, or these, I don't know what they are. There's when the dolls fit in each other. I don't know if you have little figurines or little or something that's like this that's connected to her, or there's something about pieces that go together that are like figurines or dolls, but there's a collection or something like this that she's making reference to. She also keeps acknowledging the month of September, so September may be significant, or September, or the 9th of a month may be connected. She also keeps, there's another female with her who may have recently passed. Either this female passed from an aneurysm or a stroke, who may be connected to the family that recently passed. So she's acknowledging a female with her as well, who may have recently passed. She also keeps acknowledging Donnie. I don't know why I'm thinking of Donnie and Marie. So I don't know if you know who Donnie and Marie are. It's there was an old family group that used to sing and all that, but I'm thinking of Donnie and Marie. So there's either a Donnie or Marie reference that she's trying to acknowledge as well. Ooh, it's my song. Let's go to here. Rosie Emily Ruiz. Hi, I wanted to know what career path will my daughter choose in the future. I actually think that she's probably going to go into. It's funny because she's going to start out going in one direction, but I feel like she'll end up going into like accounting or databasing. It almost feels like I keep seeing a bookkeeper, so I keep thinking of like someone that does the books, or is going to be in some sort of accounting. But it's almost like because it has to do with she's going to work for the IRS. She's going to work for the government. So I feel like she's going to be a forensics accountant or a person that is working for the IRS and they're looking into people's finances because it feels like it's financially connected. Okay. It might even be crypto, but I feel like it's going in that direction. Sam. Will I find love soon? So you can't find love, you can attract love. People who try to find love tend to push it away or make it harder to achieve it or to have it. So you have to know what love is, or have to understand what the experience is for you to really be able to embody that. Most people get so hooked into the idea or the fantasy of what they saw like in the Notebook or in the Disney movies that they have a very construed perception or idea of love, and that gets in the way. And then not only that, but they have these expectations that end up getting in their way or acting as blocks. And then if they even meet someone who could potentially be a good fit for them, because it doesn't fit what they think in their head or the expectations in their head, they don't always open up or give that person a chance. And I think sometimes you might not always be as open as you think you are. But to answer your question, as far as like love, I do think that you will have an opportunity to fall in love in about 3.5 years. It does feel like something that starts before then and then evolves into love. So it wouldn't surprise me if in like 3 years you meet someone, the person's name starts with a T, like Thad. I'm assuming you're straight, so I'm going to say a male's name. If you're not straight, change it into a female sounding name. But it's like a Thad, Th. It's funny because I was thinking of Thelma. Thad or Thaddy. It's got a, no, not Thaddeus. Tad. It's Tad, Thad, or Thel. It's got a name like that. But they don't go by that. They go by a completely different nickname that is not even the name, which is funny. It's like, oh, my name is Thaddeus or Theodore. There you go, Theodore. My name is Theodore, but I go by Nathan. Like, well, that's not your birth name. That's not even on your birth certificate. I know, but that's just what I went by. Like, it's a weird, like, thing with their name. But I feel like you might meet this person. I want to say you might meet this person in like 3 years, and then it takes like half a year for something to kick off, because you may not be dating when y'all meet. Y'all may just know each other, and then something changes in circumstances, and then y'all have an opportunity to get closer. Okay? Yeah, Lena. Lena Cooper. Hi, Fernando. I met Mark a few months ago. He's 14 years older than me, but we still get along well. How do you see things going between us? Will it get serious? I actually think it could get serious, and I'm leaning more towards that. So I actually feel more confident that it will become something serious. Here's the thing, though, with Mark. Don't worry about the age. When I was like 18 or 19, I was dating a guy, and he was 48 years old. And I have to tell you, and I'm being straight up honest with y'all, that was probably one of the best relationships, or the better relationships in my life. And so I was like, and people say like age, I'm like, get over yourself. Like, you can have a really good relationship. And not only that, but it was great, and it was a very passionate connection. So age should not be the issue, okay? With that being said, I do think it can get serious. However, here's the thing. I think that in about 6 or 7 months, either you may notice him detaching himself or starting to kind of pull away a little bit. What I would say is be patient, because that may be the case for like a very short period of time. And then once he starts to clarify or get clear in his head, then he might come back in much stronger and more intentional. So you may just have to be patient with him, because he may need a little time. Linky Kong Kong. Is there girl flying to me in future Ferny? I think you're asking if there's a girl coming to you in the future. Yeah, I actually think that there might be someone coming to you. I want to say this is 5 months from now, so maybe like within this year. If it's not by December, then this is May next year because I'm thinking of 5. So I'm gonna say this is either within like in about 5 months from now. Their name starts with a P, PRI sounding. And I think it's like in 5 months. If not, then May of next year. So just keep your eyes open. Hey, Ferny, should I be able to swing a new truck in 2 weeks? Yeah, actually, I think you could swing a truck in 2 weeks. So yeah, I would say yes. It'd actually be interesting because around the time that you decide to do it, there might be some changes or some new options available. So you may have some different options to choose from. I would definitely put it within a month, but 2 weeks, I think it can happen in 2 weeks. So I think you could get it done. I mean, like overload, like I'm like having like visual overload. I'm like, let me slow my butt down. Rebecca Lynn. Hi, Ferny. Where do you see my health with my thyroid in the next 5 or 6 months? So with your thyroid, a couple of things. One is I do think there might have to be a slight procedure or test to check for something. I don't know if it's happening yet, but in about 3 months, there might be the need for this because you might start to have some changes with your anxiety levels or with your emotional state, which may be tied to the thyroid function. So I think that may be one thing that comes up. However, I would say that I do think that your thyroid function may start to get regulated or improve over the next like 7 months. The thing about it is, I think that this thing comes up, like I said, in a few months. But then early next year, I see you getting some sort of therapy or an injection that might be a version of something that you were trying to take in a different form. And that may actually do the trick or may actually help a lot. Okay? Because it feels like it feels abnormal. Like your thyroid feels abnormal to me, which means something you might have been born with, and then it's a genetic thing. But then I also feel the deficiencies that are contributing to this as well. So there's like a dual issue that I think is a part of this process. Let me bring people on because we're already getting into our time here. Yeah, I hear the dog, my neighbor's dog. It's a little, what is it? A little, not a weenie dog. I always say weenie, it's not Dotson. It's not a Dotson. It's one of those other ones. The Queen, the Queen Elizabeth, she has one of those. That's the kind of dog it is. So she's real sweet though. She's real cute. Okay, let's go here. Hello. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
Not expecting this. This is
Oh,
so
well, you
cool.
should have mentioned when you requested to get me on here. Are you at the store or what?
No, I'm at the bingo with my
Oh my
with my
God, girl,
sister.
is it bingo like Mexican bingo or is it like the other bingo, just like
No,
the ball the
it's a
ball?
bingo. It's the American bingo, like
Oh
at the bingo
God,
hall.
American bingo's so boring. Number, color, number. I'm like, give me like los huaraches or let me have like the taco. Like, yeah, I want to see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to ask me about?
So I just wanted to know if you have any messages from my stepmom, Joanne. She passed
Yeah.
away a couple of years
First of
ago.
all, she's showing me her hair, so she wants to show off her hair. So I don't know if she was having difficulty with her hair or there was significance to this, but she's really wanting to make sure y'all see her beautiful hair. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. Did they have to put tubes down her throat, or did they have to because she's showing me something going down the throat and it being an issue for her?
Yeah,
Okay.
She was on life support for a while.
Got it. She's acknowledging this. You also know that there had to be two if two people had to make the decision with whether this was going to continue or not,
That's two we did, yeah.
she's acknowledging being aware of this. She says, thank you. She would have been trapped in her body for the rest of her life had y'all not done this. So she's like,
the other night.
she's so grateful that she's not in her body anymore. Because she says she finally felt free, and she says she's freer than she was when she was flying. And so she's very grateful for this. She also, she's like, she's trying to dance for me. She's like doing her hip thing. So she's like trying to do this hip thing with that she's doing here. So she's acknowledging that as well. Her knees or her legs don't hurt either. Was she starting to get a little heavier or starting to get,
Yeah.
she says that there was a lot of pressure on her legs that was making it harder for her. Do y'all also remember, before this got worse, do y'all remember her having more like, I don't know if she was having to throw up or there was like fluid coming out? Because she's acknowledging this stuff. Okay. Because she's making reference to that as well.
Oh my gosh, it's like spot on. It's so crazy.
Okay, she's giving me a name. I don't think this is her name, but I don't know who this is to her. Is there like a Mari Bell or Mari Sol type of name?
Oh, Mary, her cousin Mary.
Okay, is she still alive though?
Yeah, she's still alive.
You know, she tried to organize some things for her, or she was trying to offer to connect to a different part of the family.
No, I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'm here. Did y'all do any kind of fundraisers for mom?
No, we didn't.
There's something going on here that I want to acknowledge with the Mary character, because she's acknowledging someone fundraising, and then she's giving me another name. This is still with the same person. Do y'all know there's a Cha-Cha on that side?
Yes, that's
So,
her,
yeah.
Mary's daughter. Yeah.
Okay. There's something going on there. Here's what I'm going to say. She's telling to pass on a message. First of all, she says to tell her hello. She also says to tell her that they know what's going on with their situation or what's happening on that side, and that she's going to try to bless her or maybe get her some help, because she's acknowledging that. And they may be trying to do a fundraising, or there's something going on that side.
Yeah.
So she's making
She's
references.
always struggled, that lady Mary, my mom's cousin. They were really close, but she's always struggled. So she's had her own health issues and everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she also says there's a baby there as well. Do you know of a baby that's miscarried, lost, or terminated?
no, not that I know of.
For the Mary or for the daughter?
Maybe for one of her daughters.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's acknowledging this baby, and I want to connect it to them. She says she loves y'all. She also says she's proud of y'all. Y'all are badass bitches. So she's like almost going on it. Y'all are like badass bitches. So she's acknowledging y'all being tough, or being made out of tough stuff. Do you also have her blanket?
No, her blanket.
It's the bedspread or the bedding.
It's a blue one.
I don't know. She's just showing me the bed and whatever goes on the bed. So I'm thinking it's like a bedspread.
To have a blue San Marcos. Yeah.
Okay, because she's acknowledging that. She also keeps saying thank you. She's showing me a necklace, and then she's also showing me a flower. Do y'all know of a necklace that's connected to her, and then also a flower?
No, not that I know
a
of.
flower or a star?
We have a stepsister that her daughter, but that might know something about it.
She's showing me something that reminds me of, you know how sometimes people will get like a piece of jewelry and they're like, oh, like this is a constellation and this was the day, and it's like got their name on it. There's something like this that I kind of want to acknowledge or describe. It almost reminds me of like it's either a star or it's a sun or it's something that reminds me of that. But she's connecting herself to like a necklace that's got a similarity to that. There's a reference there. Did y'all have the dream of her? That she was dressed, I don't say she's dressed in white, but it definitely feels like it's a light dream. Do you know there was a dream of her where she was dressed in white or dressed in a light color? Might even be a tinge of like a pinkish purple, but it's light, almost like lavender.
Yeah, I had a dream about her not very long ago, but I can't remember like what she was wearing exactly or anything like that.
She's showing me an image of herself, and she's wearing this color. It's almost similar to the color your sister's wearing, but it's a little more lighter, or it's like on the spectrum. But she's acknowledging this color, so there's a reference to that. She also is acknowledging she's making peace with the dad. She's at peace with the dad, or she's made peace with the dad. So she's acknowledging peace with the dad. Was she having a little bit of difficulty with y'all's father before she passed? Okay. She's at peace now. She's at peace now with it. So she's okay. She also says that she, did y'all find something in the backseat of the car, like a feather or something in the backseat of the car?
A what? A feather.
Like
No,
something like a feather
no,
at the backseat of the car. Okay.
no,
It's
not that
showing
I
me
can
something
remember.
that looks like a feather. It's funny because I'm thinking of like a boa. What is that? It's a weird thing because normally when I think of feathers, I think of like, okay, a red cardinal or like a dove, but I keep thinking of like the Mardi Gras, and I'm trying to figure out where she's going with this. Do y'all have something that's connected to either Mardi Gras or colored feathers that is in a vehicle or that's connected to a vehicle?
No, not in a vehicle, but I just recently pulled some out of my closet with her stuff like that I have put away, and it's like a pinkish color. But it wasn't. They weren't in the car.
What was it? Was it like a, what was it? Like a, it was a feather thing?
Like it's a like a boa. You know,
Okay.
like with a boa, what you
Okay.
wrap around you. And
Okay. That's
yeah, I
okay.
was looking at it the other day.
What color was it?
It's like a
Okay.
pinkish, purplish
This is
color.
what she's talking about. Okay. I know, I'm like, where's she going with this? Okay. Here's what I think. Did y'all go on a trip and that's where y'all got that from? On a road trip?
No,
Y'all?
I got it. No, no, I got it. And I had it in a bag in my car for a really long time, and I took it out. But
That's it.
it's been
This is it,
sitting in my
girl. It's like you're like feeling
garage.
all the time.
What
Like
it
I'm
is?
trying to figure
Yeah,
this
it's in
out
your
for her.
car.
Okay, remember when
Yeah,
I said that her wearing this pink color thing, and then she's talking about the back. Okay, I think what she's trying to tell you is, hey, I know that you finally got the boa that you had in your car. You got it in the closet, and it's
yeah,
a pink color that I'm wearing it. So it's just probably what she's referring to, this wearing this thing that's like a boa. So if
yeah,
you have a boa connected to her or connected, and it's pinkish color like I was describing, this is probably
yeah,
what she's talking about, and I'm totally effing up the message. So this
yeah.
is probably what she's referring to. She's also drawing on my skin. Is one of you planning on getting a tattoo?
I've been wanting to get her name.
Yeah. She's acknowledging that she's fine with it. Are you planning on adding like a stem or a rose or a flower to it?
Yeah, I wanted to get her signature. Yeah, I want to get her signature tattooed on me with a rose
Perfect.
because she loves red roses.
Perfect. So she's acknowledging that as well. She also keeps acknowledging a mug or a cup. Do you have a mug or a cup that's connected to her as well? Yeah. So she's okay. She's with y'all, sweetheart. She's with y'all. So whenever
This
y'all
is
want,
too much.
she's okay and she's fine. She's like showing her hair and she's like doing this whole thing, but she's fine. She is okay. So when y'all want to talk to her, just talk to her. But she's around
Like,
y'all. She says she's trying to get y'all the right balls so y'all can win. They ain't gonna let her, but she said she's trying to get the right balls for y'all.
okay.
The what?
I need it. I do. I need it.
All
The
Thank you
right.
what?
so much, Fernie. I really appreciate you. I
You're
love watching
welcome.
you. Thank you for what you do.
Oh,
It's amazing. Thank you so
oh,
much.
you're welcome, sweetheart. By the way, she's joking about Jennifer Lopez. So I don't know. There's a funny joke about all her boyfriends or her last boy, but she was laughing about the Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. So just FYI. Okay. All right,
Okay,
sweetheart.
thank
Yeah, take
you.
care.
Take
You're
care.
welcome, Mama.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Oh my God, I cannot believe he answered.
All right, let's see. Let's go. Keep going forward. Yeah, sometimes, guys, this is why I tell people, like, people always think, like, when I'm talking to them as if, like, everything makes perfect sense in my head, and it's not. It's almost like you're, it's like having a bag of things and then sticking your hand in it, but you don't get to know exactly what it is, but you can kind of figure out what you're touching or what. So you're having to figure something out. And sometimes the pieces are not like, it's not like a story. We're like, hey, my name is Rose. I have 5 children. I was born in December and I had cancer on this breast. Like, they don't talk like that. I mean, my life would be easy if they talk like that. What they're doing is they're just pulling at things in my head and trying to get me to put the pieces together so that it makes sense and people can understand it. And some people like to say like, oh, well, you're just doing co-readings. I'm like, no, not really, because I would really suck. If I were doing co-readings, I would really suck at it, just because with a cold reading, what they do is the people who call themselves mediums that are not mediums, they say is like, how do you connect with 5? But they don't give you a direction for how it connects or what it connects to. They just say, how do you connect with 5? And that could be like so many things. So I try to like narrow it down. And if it doesn't feel like what I'm getting, I will say no. And this is why when people say like, well, maybe you're doing core readings, like, not really, because people who do core readings, they say yes to everything that the person is giving them. I don't say yes to everything. I always slip. That's not what I'm getting. This is not connect. This is not, that doesn't feel right to me. And so I have to stick to what I'm getting. And that's why it's a little bit different. And that's why I'm like, nope, all the pieces are there. I'm just trying to figure out how it's making sense in my head. So that's how it works for me. Let me go to somebody else because I don't want to waste too much time here because I know I'm running out of time here. Hello.
Joking.
What?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm so excited.
Oh, well,
Hi.
cool. Yay, yay. Well, wait, what do you want to ask me about?
Oh man. Okay, so many things. One, I had a job interview today. And just wanted to see if you were feeling anything or getting anything from how that might pan out.
Yeah, was this the same company that you're with?
Not the same company.
Okay. I first of all, I'm seeing 2 interviews. So did you have to do 2 interviews for this, or was there
So
another?
I did. This was my second interview, but I got a call last night for a different interview at another company.
Okay.
That might be coming up. I haven't had it yet.
And is one of the companies a lot closer to the one you were working for, or the one a lot closer? Like there's so many similarities that it's pretty much like a similar company?
One is in retail, like where I'm at now, and one is similar in the regard of somebody that I used to work for at my current company now works at that one. So those are the 2 separate.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. I feel like it might be more enticing to do the retail one because of your experience, but I kind of feel better about the opportunity with the one with the person that you used to know or used to work with, because it feels like there's more growth that's going to come with that in the next like year or so. And so a lot of changes may come down the pipeline, and then there may be opportunities that come up from that. I honestly think that either direction you go in is fine, because I think you'll do well with either one, but I feel better about the one with the person that was connected to a prior organization. The interview that you had today, was that with the retail one?
It was.
Yeah. I think you got it, but I feel like you're gonna have to decide which one you want to take advantage of, because it feels like you'll have more than one option on the table.
Great. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see anything? I've had some weird health stuff lately. Do you see anything there? It's just some
do you have a history of anemia?
No, I have Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, and I'm 3 months postpartum. So sometimes, I don't know if my
I think that there's something going on with your iron levels. So I feel like you might need to look and see if your iron levels are fluctuating, because it feels like something's off with the iron in the system. I also feel like, have you been feeling these weird sensations like to the side of your heart or like on the side over here?
I have a lump that we've been trying to figure out.
I kind of feel, I'm not thinking that this is anything serious. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so I can't diagnose. Of course, follow it up with the doctor.
And they haven't seen anything in the scan.
Perfect, because I don't feel this is serious. I feel like this is just an accumulation of like pocketed tissue, and it's getting and there might even be a nerve that's close enough to it that it's going to trigger some weird sensations. I don't feel it's serious though, so I'm not thinking this is anything too serious. However, I do think you may need to be aware of like the tendency for fibrosis or fibrosis in the uterus, because that may actually run in the family. So just FYI, if you have weird cycle changes or you start having pressure in the lower extremities, you may need to follow with that, because it might be a fibrosis that's there.
Okay. And one last thing, you actually had a call with my husband once upon a time, about a year ago, or not really a year ago, February. And we were talking about our dog who was ill at the time, and you said you were seeing the number 2, and you didn't know if it was 2 months or 2 years. He did pass 2 months after that. Do you ever see anything or get messages from animals or loved, pets or loved ones?
There's 3 dogs with him. So there's like 4 dogs that I'm seeing total in spirit, but there's 3 dogs with him. So he's with 3 other dogs. It's weird. Do you know of a dog that was named Champ or Champion or the winner of something? There's like a name that's associated with the winner of something. So like Champion would be like an example of that. Right. But there's a dog there that's also got like a name like this, because I'm seeing this like Champ. there's an older male with the dog. So your dog is with this older male that I feel is like a grandfather. So I think this is like a grandfather figure. He's got the animals. He's funny because he keeps giving them snacks, and I'm like, what are you doing? So he's like letting you know he's got the dog. But there's another dog, if you look into it, there's another dog that was named like Champ or Champy or Champion that's also there. And if you ask your husband, he might know about this, or one of the family members may know about this other dog. And if you can confirm
we've had several lost. Jet was my baby, and he actually passed 3 days after our daughter was born. So recently.
Yeah. She was going to need all y'all's attention. And so he just was like, I don't want to be in the way because they're going to need to take care of her or focus on her needs. And so it was like his way of like, I don't want to add to this. And so it was kind of like a gesture from him to just let go so that you could give all your attention to the new baby. So I almost feel like this was like and that's happened. I know a couple who were in the process of adopting, and right before they were approved, their dog died. And so then they got approved. So which makes perfect sense to me, that because they do that sometimes. They sacrifice themselves. But yeah, I think he's with these other dogs and this older male. That's just like a grandfather figure.
Yeah, probably my papa.
So,
awesome.
All right, sweetheart. Well, do you have wood carvings, or did he ever do something where something's carved in wood with him?
With my dog, or
with your papa, with your grandpa?
Oh gosh. Wood carvings. My dad does wood carvings, but he's still alive.
Okay. Ask your dad if he either ever made something for your grandfather, or if there's something that connects him with carving stuff in wood, because he's making reference to a carved thing in wood. And it doesn't just feel like the remains of something. It feels like something that's like a special box, or like a type of special box that is like, I don't know if it's a box at all. I actually think it's just like a carved wood thing. It's gonna sound weird. Do you have any do y'all have any cultural connection to like the native culture?
my papa, I don't think we do, but he would always say we did. You know, that was his. He would be like, "We're 1/16 Cherokee."
There's something there, because he's like referencing this. So there's something that may even be like it's a native. Either it's a native like carved wood thing. There's something there he's making reference to. Okay.
Interesting.
All right, sweetheart.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, John. You too. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Let's see. It's going through here.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Hold on one second.
Sure.
Oh, I'm holding my baby. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
I never expect you to answer me, so I'm never prepared. Do you have anything for me as far as my dad recently lost? He's been here for 45 years. He's from Kenya, and he lost all of his siblings, and I mean all of them, while he was here. And he just recently lost his sister, and I've never met any of my aunts and uncles over there, so he's having a really hard time right now, and he's really ill, and he's really stressed about it. But is there anything that you could tell me about any of my family members that have passed for him?
Yeah, let's go with the sister, because she's the one that most recently passed. She's acknowledging. Thank you. She's showing me the month of February. Do you know if February is connected?
Yeah, that's his birthday. His February 2nd.
So she's probably acknowledging his birthday or his date. She's also acknowledging the 12th as well. Do you know if the 12th or December is also connected?
My son, December. My son was just born in December.
Oh, okay, got it. So she's probably just acknowledging like what's been going on lately. What's up with that? She says to tell your father that he has grandchildren to be there for, and that he is not allowed to let go or to go anywhere, because he must honor the family, and that they have all agreed that he must remain to honor the family and to be the example, to carry the traditions, to carry the family stories. He is the keeper now, and he needs to carry the family stories. She says if he shows up early, he's going to have to wait. So she's letting him know He needs to
Mhm.
try everything to stay around because it is not his time and he has family that he must live for. And he must
Yeah.
honor them. If he goes, all that they have, all that they possessed will be lost with him. So
Yeah.
he needs to, she says, give him the task of writing it down and writing about us and creating a story about us. So she wants him to
Okay.
work on that and to focus on that. She tried to tell him this in a dream because he may have had a dream of her. And she says she was
Okay.
trying to communicate with him to let him know that it's okay and that he still needs to be here because there are things he's still meant to do. So
Yeah.
she's acknowledging this for him. Kaki. Um, Kiki or Kaki? Do you know there's a Kiki or Kaki name or nickname?
Cocky. No.
Like,
My
is it
brother's
Kiki, Kika, or Kaki sounding nickname or
um,
name?
my brother's middle name is Kyoko.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is
I
that
don't
from another loved one or is that someone else's name?
Cocky. No, that's just my brother's middle name. So
Okay.
there's probably a name that I just don't
There's a
I
reference,
don't really
yeah,
know
because
family.
she's acknowledging the name connection and she's acknowledging the similarity or that it's been passed down or it was like a holy name, a holy name, a holy name. I'm not sure where she's going with this, but she's talking about like a holy name and she's bringing this up for some reason. So I'm not sure
Okay.
what that means. Um,
Hmm.
she also keeps thank you. She also keeps acknowledging. She's showing me January as well, so she's making reference to January, but she's also making the symbol for a baby as well. Do you know of another baby that's coming into the family, or if there's been an announcement of another child coming in?
My cousin is pregnant.
Okay,
A little girl.
got it.
Yeah.
So she's acknowledging about there's another baby again. There's another baby coming in, so she's acknowledging the baby coming in. She did show me January, so either the first of the month is connected, or January may be significant with that because she brought it up right after that mention as well. Um, so there's another name she's trying to give me. This is gonna sound weird. It's either the English version of it that I would say associate with would be like Samantha or Sammy or I'm hearing the version of that like Samantha, but I want to change it and I want to say Samosa. I don't know how to pronounce that. Do you know there's also another name that sounds like Samantha or Samosa mixed?
Mm, I
Like
know a
like
Sundi.
Simeon or Simeon. There's like a
I
name there.
know a Sundi. That's her son.
Oh, that's her son?
Yeah, Sundi. One of her sons. See, again, I don't know, so I wish I knew more about
Okay, no,
that
you're
side of
fine.
it.
You're fine. You're fine. I'm asking her if she can validate that. Did he try marrying twice, or was there two attempts for him to try to get into a relationship?
Maybe.
Okay,
Don't
because she's
know.
acknowledging marriage twice or two attempts. So there's something there
Oh,
that I think she wants to pass on or pass over to him. So you might need to
yeah.
confirm that or validate that for him as well. Um, There's another female I want to acknowledge. This is not a family member though. There's another female in spirit. I want to say her name is like Janine, Jennifer, Genevieve. There's like another female that's acknowledging the name connection to that. She also makes me feel like she passed from a health condition or a health issue that was affecting her for a while. Something like when someone has like diabetes or when they have like a defective something. There's something about like something's eating away at me. She's connecting herself to school. Do you know anyone connected to a female or a female connection through school that's got those elements to it?
Um, Not that I can think
Jennifer,
of.
Genevieve, Janine, Jen. It's got a name like that that's connected to that.
My stepmom has an aunt Genevieve, that passed away, but she's older. Is it an older woman?
Well, the woman in my head does look older, so she is older. I just don't
I'm
know if
not
that's the
sure.
same.
I don't know.
Did she pass from like a condition like diabetes, or there was like there was like an accumulation in her liver?
I don't know. Genevieve. I'm trying to think. You said it wasn't family related?
I didn't
to
think
me.
it was. I didn't think it was. I was thinking this was like a female you knew in school or someone that may have been connected through like, college or school or something like that. Because I almost felt, but
I
it
don't
felt
know.
like
Now
a
I
young,
didn't think about that.
but it felt like an older person. That's the thing. It didn't feel like a friend. It felt like a teacher or like a mentor or like it had a feeling like that. But it felt like it was an older female, and I wanted to either that or the female that you mentioned worked at a school. But there's a reference to something that makes.
Mrs. Was she a Spanish teacher? I'm trying to think.
But the name would be like a similar name to what I mentioned.
Oh, I can't even think of her name right now. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
That's okay.
Um,
I'll leave that with you. But
okay.
you have to look some things up. But there's like almost as if like someone's liver failed or someone's kidneys failed, or there was and there was also like a diabetic or a blood sugar issue that might have been tied to it. But this female is just like wanting to pop in and say hello to you. Did you used to do a lot of creative writing, or was there like a lot of writing that you used to do before?
I used to draw.
Okay,
A lot.
she's doing this as if whatever you were doing that was creative was connected to her.
Hmm.
You're gonna have to think about this. Yeah, you're
Okay.
gonna have to think about this. She is. I wouldn't say she's a heavy-set woman, but she's a curvier woman because she comes across in that way. It also feels like she's funny because she's wearing those special shoes that like some of these older ladies wear. It's like those old nursing shoes that old nurses wear, like those thick shoes. She's showing that to me as well. She may have also had, during the time you knew her, she might have had a procedure with a leg or something had happened with her leg at one point, and she had to have like a little time away from work. But this is a connection to a school. So there's some school tied to this female.
I will think about it.
Yeah, think about it. Go back and look at your books and see if you can. But she's just popping in and saying hi. I don't know why. She's She's also pushing you to be creative again. So she might be trying to bring up or to reignite this thing that you've kind of neglected.
Okay, I will do that. I have one more thing. Okay, you've told me before that my fiance with his business, we just purchased another truck. I just wanted to know if you could tell me anything about the business. I know, or any baby energy that's around me still. Is that baby energy?
Oh gosh, the business feels good. I think this is going to continue to grow. He's going to need some more help though. Did I tell you that he would bring on another person or someone else would come in and work as well? With
Yep.
Okay. The truck that y'all just bought, was this a previously owned vehicle?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. The one of the is this like a 18-wheeler truck?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know enough about the vehicle mechanics because I never worked on them, but the sensor or the readout or the reading for the light switches is a little weaker or needs to be completely replaced because something feels a little off there. So if y'all test it, y'all know about it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's trying to figure that one out right now.
Yeah, I feel like the wiring has either been degraded over time or just needs to be replaced. And then that should pretty much take care of it.
Okay. All right.
All right, sweetheart. Well, you
all
take
right.
care
Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
You too.
Mama.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, I'm out of time. So I love you all. I will be back in about 5 minutes or so because about 5 minutes because we're doing a study group.